Hey y'all, and welcome back to Love Christina. Today on my conversation piece, I have my best friend Will, my bestie Shay, and my life buddy Thomas.
Hey.
We're gonna talk about a few things. Hope you guys enjoy it. So our topic today will be, what are we talking about?
Open relationships.
Open relationships. Okay, so everybody's gonna give their thought and their feedback on open relationships. We're gonna start over here and see what best friend thinks.
I'm supposed to start this way.
You had the best point.
What was my best point?
A lot of people are in.
No, everybody in an open relationship. They just don't know it. Though.
Well,
Everybody. I said a lot. He said everybody.
Everybody. Y'all just don't know it.
so what you think, Thomas?
I think open relationships are, they're pretty much being had due to a lot of social media activity. I think a lot of people are being tempted by the DMs and by all the groups and stuff like that. So a lot of people are in open relationships because a lot of things are more open nowadays. There's a lot more access to people doing things like that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Shay?
Well, I think when you say open relationship, if I'm in a relationship with somebody and we're being open to each other, like that's a whole different thing. If we're being open and honest, and I know kind of what you're doing, it's not like sneaking and cheating. It's like, I know what you're doing. Don't make me look stupid out there. It's kind of like, I feel like a nigga gonna do what he gonna do anyway. So if I know, kind of, I feel like if we got an agreement, because I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do too. So I feel like it's better if we have agreement and it's honesty in a relationship. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's the true definition.
Relationship.
I was about to say,
Right,
so what
right.
are we doing?
It is a relationship because you have a partnership with somebody that you're with, and if you bring kids into a relationship, you guys are still parenting and doing your thing together. But at the end of the day, sometimes they have wants that they want to go do on the side or whatever that you probably ain't got time to do. So, or somebody else is willing to do, but you know where you belong. That's what I'm saying.
But if that's the case, you wouldn't get in a relationship.
That's why I'm like, why would I want a relationship?
Well, you don't
Well-
go into it thinking, oh, I already want somebody on the
Yeah.
side.
But when you
It's
get ready to start talking to
situations that
somebody,
happen.
you already know, like, okay, I want a relationship with this person, you know what I'm saying? So, why not already, you putting it already out there, pretty much. Okay, this is what pretty much I'm finna deal with this is what I'm not finna deal with. And then, if that person decides that's what they gonna do,
I know for me, that ain't gonna work. I don't want you with nobody else, and I don't want to be with nobody else. That's just not my thing. But I understand how people can go for that and want that. I understand it. But for me, I need more. It's more of a connection. I need more emotional support. Like, no.
If you have that, and let's say, because women have that these days, they have the emotional support in the person they're going to be with, but sometimes the guys still cheat. So I feel like as a woman, if you knowingly, like, okay, babe, like you have those tendencies, you know, I have this one person. I feel like if I know as a woman who that person is, it's not like you sneaking around. It's like, oh, somebody in my bed. It's kind of like a level of respect. Like, you're going to go do what you do, but you know who you belong to at the same point. Because I feel like, don't cheat on me. Like, the cheating, like all that, like not knowing, I feel like that's just like, it's heartbreaking more when you find out some dirt shit than to know who your partner is. Like, okay, you got these tendencies. It's like, all right, I know who it is. I know what time. She just decided, bitch, you about to go be gone for an hour. Do what you gotta do. But you know where you belong.
Right.
Not having a whole nother relationship with this person.
That is
But
a relationship.
I think
it's relations. But you're not taking her out.
Right.
You don't know what they doing in that
No,
hour.
that's what we said. We have an open relationship, me and you. I know what's going on. So,
Or am I just telling you? I don't know. Okay, so now we done went through whether or not we feel open relationships are cool. What are deal breakers in an open relationship? Or are there rules to an open relationship?
Well,
I feel like it definitely should be rules. If you and your partner have this agreement, I feel like, especially if you're talking about marriage or just together, you guys have kids, there should definitely be rules. Like, you're not about to be smashing her and she end up pregnant. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a level of disrespect. Like, it's like, all right, now you're doing more. It's more to than you just trying to have sex with her. So it depends on the relationship, the couple. It's like, what do you want?
I mean, I do believe that there is, and I think one of the most important rules is don't fall in love. Shit. I mean, in general, when you're hanging around people a lot, I mean, you're gonna, typically develop feelings. But I think once you start to get into that mode where you're starting to like a little bit, you pull back a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to disrespect your partner. And I'm pretty sure it's vice versa with them. So as long as you can control your feelings, I think it should be all right.
So you feel like you can help you can distinguish who you fall in love with.
Absolutely. Now, I know it might be a little difficult for some, but, I've been in that position before, and I know that once I started to feel something, I knew to draw back. And it kind of worked out in my benefit.
Because
and for the
you had something else you had to draw back, or?
Yes, absolutely. And I didn't want to disrespect the person I was with, and I let them know at the time too, like, think we should try something else. We should go, oops.
Right.
Did I do that? I did. I did.
Anyway, so, Will, what do you think? Should there be rules and regulations? Can you help who you fall in love with? What you think?
I don't think it's going to be any type of rules, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the person, they're going to do what they want to do. In an open relationship, you ain't got to tell nobody, man. You ain't got to answer to nothing, so how's it going to be rules?
Nah, I don't think that's
That
an
should
open
be-
relationship. I mean, I feel like it depends. Are we talking about being in a relationship and it's open, but you guys are married? Or being in a relationship and y'all just in a
But
relationship?
if you married, there ain't no open relationship.
No,
Why
many
not?
married
No,
people
people
have
that are
open
married, you
relationships.
have open relationships. Open means like we're open with other people, but we know.
Well,
It's not like
I think
cheating.
if you're in a marriage and it's an open relationship, I believe that your partner should be in on whatever, you know what I'm saying,
you
is
believe
going on.
threesome should be
Right.
part of
It's
what
more
you
of a
guys do.
threesome if you're in a marriage. There should be no way that you or your spouse should be able to do something outside of them without them knowing exactly
Yeah.
who or even being involved in the situation.
They should
You know,
definitely
because
always
marriage
know.
is a totally
Yeah,
different
they should
ballgame.
always know. That's where the rules come in. Like,
Right.
if I know, it depends on the woman. Because I feel like if I had this commitment with you and I know what's going on, then that's what makes it open. Is knowing. So, but if you just doing whatever you want to do, then you shouldn't be committed
Right.
to
Because
a relationship.
you can't be in an open relationship, then go out to the bar, fuck a girl, and then come home and be like, oh well, yeah, I just fucked a girl. Like, it shouldn't be that simple. Like you should
that's
bring
not
her
a
home to your
What
woman.
is the definition
And-
of an open relationship? Like,
Everybody probably have.
I was about to
everybody
say, I
have
think
a
everybody's
different-
definition is different.
That's true.
That's why
I mean,
there's rules.
To me, open just means that you guys are free to do other things as long as both parties agree with it and they both know what's going on.
Right.
So they're like almost like the circle of trust. As long as you do something that is within
Yeah.
this realm, then we're good. But anything outside of
the
that,
realm.
then
Right.
It's like you have a
Right.
loyalty. That's why I say if you married, like I have a loyalty. The man will have a loyalty to his wife. Like my wife knows. So basically, you doing whatever you're doing, you don't have to cover it up. You don't have to come delete this, delete that,
Right.
and do all this. Your wife already knows.
Right.
And it's not that you don't feel like condemned. Like, oh,
Yeah.
if somebody see me, this
Right.
is what I'm doing.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's open.
Right.
Like she already knows. But if she
Right.
don't know, then that's a whole different thing. That's where you cheating, and that's where the thing comes with. That's why I feel like it's more important to be married, because I feel like the husband would feel like, you know, this is who I belong to, and I have this, I owe this to her. You know what I mean? Because then he don't want to get that divorce, and now he got to pay half. So it's like a level of respect. You know what I mean? If she giving you that openness and saying, okay, I know this is what it is, and a lot of guys, I feel like you don't just want one woman, or you get bored and tired of the same thing. I feel like so it's like having somebody that understands that and giving you that free leeway. If you go out of the rules and the boundaries, it's like you fucking up. You're a fuck up. You don't even need to be in a relationship. Period.
And I think it's also important to know your partner and know what they will do in these circumstances.
Right.
You know, you have to kind of have them people in a box, sort of. Because if they do something that's just way out of the norm, then it could possibly hurt the relationship.
Right.
So there has to be boundaries. You can't just let people just run amok and do whatever they want to do. There has to be some kind of set standard for what you guys are doing. Because open could be open to a lot of different things. So you have to really put a definition on that open.
Right, like
So outside
Open
marriage.
sexually, open physically, open, you know, with chemistry. And you definitely don't want that with a whole lot of other people if you're in a relationship or in a marriage, you know. Definitely don't want to be too open.
Right. I feel like you're not gonna get everything that you want in one person. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have like most of the things that you want, and something is gonna be missing.
Right.
So we have an understanding, like, babe, like I know this is missing, and this is why I go to the bar, or this is why I do this and get away. Your wife should be able to understand, like, okay, but knowing what you're doing, she's okay at home taking care of home. That's how I feel. That's mine.
Okay, but outside of marriage.
In just a regular
Yeah, like-
relationship.
In a regular relationship, the rules,
Like, what do we do then?
the rules change a little bit.
Because I'm just fucking you and we just fucking. So
Right.
Regular relationship.
Then what?
Hey, I
It
believe
depends on
that's
how-
when certain topics like protection or no protection is of the utmost importance, because you guys don't have that tie that binds you together like marriage. So you really have to put your trust in somebody.
Right.
And in order to trust somebody 100%, you have to be able to know what they're doing, you know, and condoms is a very big deal in a community, especially the African American community.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know?
And even too, like if it's just a regular relationship, you don't really own them, or they don't owe you nothing. It's like it's not even like a.
So there's no rules to it. Yeah, that means, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
It's
have to.
kind of like y'all
Well,
even,
no rules, but you have to you have to let them know you're not cool with
You
certain
have to be
things.
in agreement on certain stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I don't even
can't
feel like you reached a level of relationship yet. Y'all not seeing each other exclusively at that point. Y'all still dating.
So why call
That's
it
how
an
I feel.
open relationship if
That's
you ain't
it's
gotta do
because
that?
you ain't in a
Which
relationship.
is a good point, but do you just ultimately trust this person to know that they're gonna sleep with somebody else and stay protected? Do you
Yeah,
take that
I'm going-
chance?
And if I'm talking to somebody, if I know I'm not trying to get like in a relationship with them, I'm already in my head. They already fucking somebody else.
Yeah, because y'all,
That's
y'all
how
not,
you're
y'all
gonna-
not
so you're
exclusive.
gonna stay
Y'all not
protected.
exclusive. Y'all haven't made it to the relationship part yet. That's how I feel like.
So does that mean
Y'all
that
still-
because you does that mean because you don't know what they're doing sexually, or you don't feel like they owe you that to be protected? Does that mean that you're gonna stay protected because you don't know that?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm gonna tell him.
No, this is the thing. No, this is the thing.
With doing that, some guys
You could be in love with him. The sex is okay. You tried it all these different ways, but sometimes it's like you don't get tired. It's like even the same penis is just like, all right. If you with somebody, you been with somebody, you married with them for 5 years.
She's alright.
That's the same. That's the same how dudes feel about the pussy, right? If you with them
Yeah.
after 5 years, you didn't hit it. How many ways? How many ways?
No, wait. But
How many ways?
If it's a fire, I'm gonna keep getting
After
fire.
5 years, though, you keep
But
getting
is
the
it still
same
is it
fire.
still fire after 5
The
years?
same
But that's when
fire.
you start.
After she had kids.
But that's when y'all start adding new shit.
Right.
You add